What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Code X podcast. As always, my name is Jamie, and with me this week, Tim Morse. Obviously, we are missing the mortal SK. He's doing things in the basement that I can't even explain right now, I guess.
It would be illegal to mention.
Yeah, he's working on I think either a series about a series right now, one of his other 37,000 scripts, or for the man who has everything and nothing if you watch his latest mail call.
Well, you know what I think he might be doing instead of being here today? I think he's taking a day of reflection to sit with his 3 PDF awards. And,
oh, yeah.
And just sit around with them and just look at them and enjoy.
All I can see is him
awards.
laying in a bed of them, just like in a montage setting, like just
bunch of photocopied best director, best series, and best writer awards
best
all
actor.
over the place. Yeah.
Well, when you cast yourself, it's pretty hard not to put yourself as best actor.
I auditioned.
No. Yeah, so did I. I never got a call back. And I work with him. But no, guys, we got a fun show for you here today. Light news week this week. We got 2 bits of news. We have the Thor Love and Thunder second trailer that did just come out.
Yep.
And Daredevil series is in the works for Disney Plus.
Absolutely.
So we got that for you going. We got our works. We're going to give you a little bit more of a behind the scenes aspect of what we got going on here at Codex as a whole. Obviously, topic of the week, which is which sidekick really grew into their own unique character.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, the top 3 comes from comic character of the day. Guys, if you have not had a chance yet, go check out their Facebook group. Great community, great people. We're even in there, so you guys can come talk to us anytime you want, and in chat if you guys want to right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, the best game ever invented by me and Tim originally, Do You Know, which usually ends in a 0-0 score because we both don't know anything.
I think you're going to know 1 or 2 of these. I think you might.
I think you got better hopes for me than I've had my entire life for myself.
Jamie, I always have hopes for you on Do You Know because you shine through sometimes.
What is this?
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about
Is that Spaceballs?
Yes. Hello, President Scroob.
Yeah, and we have stemming out of Infinity Wars, Infinity Warp's Arachknight 1 and 2 review coming from me and Tim. Yeah. Next week, I believe we're doing Hawkeye 1 through 4. So guys, be ready for that because Sunny will be back and hopefully better than most days. So on to the news, guys. Thor Love and Thunder trailer number 2 dropped this past week. If you guys are seeing this, it went out, I believe, Tuesday.
I think so.
If you're seeing this on YouTube, I'm gotta say, like, I'm actually excited for it. I didn't think I'd be excited for a 4th Thor film in any regards. He's the only one to get his 4th actual film in a row. Not counting, obviously, Falcon as Captain America now.
Or Spider-Man Homecoming with Iron Man.
Batman and Robin? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But no, the whole trailer, it took a lot from the beginning. We got Gore the Butcher Gods.
Mm-hmm. We finally got to see him.
Yeah, and Christian Bale does look cool. I've seen a lot of heat from people saying it's not comic accurate how he looks. When's the last time we've ever seen anything specifically comic accurate in a film that we can be like, yay, this is him. This is perfect. And if anyone says Hugh Jackman, Wolverine's not 6 foot.
What wasn't comic accurate about Gore? Because the pictures I've seen,
just
looks
the
pretty close.
Way he looks, basically, from what I was reading. There's a couple different lines on his face.
There's somebody that will always nitpick.
But one thing I did love about this trailer, and everyone doesn't really seem to understand, is there's a lot of humor in it.
Yeah.
But the humor comes from a place of disaster. I feel like from Thor. Mm-hmm. The guy should have went for the head. He didn't. He put the whole world on his shoulders as king too. Failed. Lost his hammer. Got his eye taken out by his sister. Followed a raccoon everywhere to try to help him get Stormbreaker. and now he's trying to find his way after giving up Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my defense mechanism usually is sarcasm and comedic activity as well. So it's great for me to see that kind of portrayal from a hero trying to level themselves with what they've been through in a certain kind of energy,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. Jane Foster too. Oh my God, looks fantastic.
She looks jacked. Like her workout routine, whatever she did.
And everyone was saying CGI arms. I'm like, I don't care if they are or aren't. She looks great.
You can see pictures online of on set, like people that snipe pictures and stuff. Those arms are hers, guys. She worked hard for those. And any of you couch commandos that sit there and say it's all CGI, go up to her and say that and see what she says. Challenge her to arm wrestling.
Right. And the one thing that I noticed in the trailer is she's always in costume, which
I noticed that too.
There's a thing about that. And I'm hoping it's comic accurate to that extent, is that in her run of the Mighty Thor, she was suffering from cancer. And every time she would have chemo and take on Mjolnir would take the chemo out of her to release her body. So every time she went back to normal form, she was weaker and dying quicker. So if that is that play, I'm going to be in love.
Right on. Okay. See, I was unaware that. I never read that run. So
it was a fantastic run. A lot of people didn't really give it a lot of second tries on it, but it was a fantastic run.
I think that was during a time of transition for me in comic books. That might have been like right when I was going out, or just a time when I wasn't really loose on what I was taking in.
Right. So Tim, thoughts, man? Like,
dude, I'm excited for this. This looks great. It looks funny. There's looks to be a lot of some seriousness in there too. And if it's anything like Ragnarok, I think it's going to be fantastic. Ragnarok was a great movie. It brought Thor out of his franchise obscurity from the dark world and really pumped him up to a top spot, a tentpole position. And now moving forward with Love and Thunder, bringing Jane Foster in as Thor, Christian Bale as the God Butcher, and all the characters from Ragnarok that we loved and enjoyed are in here too, plus the Guardians. I mean, Ravager Thor, he looks hilarious, looks amazing, looks wonderful, and I can't wait to sit down and watch this. I'm super excited for it.
Yeah. And we're getting more news too. We got a new trailer and the premiere of something we've already seen that's coming back out again, but on Disney Plus. So Tim, why don't you take that away for us?
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, Daredevil has a series at Disney Plus that is in the works. And this article is from the Hollywood Reporter, and it is written by Boris Kitt. And his headline reads, Matt Corman and Chris Ord, who created the spy thriller show Covert Affairs, will write and executive produce the series. Now, just to give you a little tidbit of what he has to say, The Man Without Fear is back as a series after several teases of characters from Netflix Daredevil show in its own content. Marvel Studios is finally moving forward with the Daredevil series for Disney Plus. I am beyond excited about that. But the one thing I'm really excited about is that it goes on to say that Matt Corman and Chris Ord obviously have been tapped to write and executive produce a series that will be notable for being the first of the Netflix Marvel shows to get a new, and listen to this, but continued series. So what that means is that the stuff that took place on Netflix is not erased. So the stuff that took place on Netflix is canon, which means that the Punisher exists. And now it's officially, like, more so than before. Luke Cage is there. Jessica Jones is there. Iron Fist is there. They're all there. So all 3 seasons that took place for Daredevil are officially canon in the MCU. And this new series is going to take place after those. That has me beyond excited. The only reservation I have is that on Netflix, they were able to push the boundaries, so to speak, and really blur the lines between PG-13 and R, or TV-14 and MA. I don't think they're going to be allowed that kind of flexibility on Disney Plus, but on the same token, those series are MA series on Disney Plus already. So it gives me a glimmer of hope that they might not be that restricted, right? Because Daredevil's a gritty, ground-based hero, and that kind of lens needs to be put on the series. You know what I mean? We need to see him get the snot beat out of him. We need to see him come beaten and broken and battered. We need to hear certain things, and we need to see certain other things in a series. And even if they're restricted, I know that like with series like Moon Knight, that pushed the boundaries a little bit. And Oscar Isaac tried to get an F-bomb dropped every other word, and Disney was like, nope, you can't do that. I don't think they'll push it that far, but with what they did with Moon Knight, that gives me really high hopes that even if they're restricted to normal TV 14 ratings, that it'll still be really, really awesome. How do you feel about it?
Well, first off, in that regard of the TVMA kind of thing, if anybody who has not been living under a rock for the last couple months, once Moon Knight was coming, there is parental controls now on Disney Plus, which gives the ability for you to watch those certain shows and not to.
Yep.
Well, that actually did happen with the transition with Daredevil and Punisher and so on and so forth coming on. I don't have any fear of it. I really don't. If there's parental controls, it's there for a reason. It's at the parents' sake, and foresight. If they want to allow their children to watch that or have that on, that's totally up to them. But now that we have that on there, I feel like it's just going to keep continuing to be the same thing that it was before. I'm really excited to have the whole cavalcade of cast back.
Everybody.
Even they're going to do Iron Fist finally justice. I feel like don't recast. I feel like he played great. It was just a bad script on their part. God, having Punisher back, I'm okay with. I'm not gonna say I'm overly ecstatic because John Berthel, never really liked him as an actor too much, but in that, yeah, he had that emotion. So I was all in for that. And it being a continuation, I couldn't think of anything better. If you were gonna restart it again and just kind of use like the blip as a practical, like, oh, this is why it's restarting, you know, or the multiverse crashing and them coming in as that aspect. And starting new.
There's all kinds of different roads they could take.
I feel like that would be a horrible scapegoat in their eyes. But with them just continuing it and being like, no, this is where it's gonna, go from. I think that's a fantastic idea because there's a lot of people that did love those shows on Netflix, and there's still
me being one of them,
and there's still being one of them is me, and rewatching some of those episodes because they were just amazing. Especially the Defenders. Defenders got a lot of bad rep.
Defenders was great.
Well, yeah, my thoughts, definitely keep it going. I can't wait to see the whole cast back together again, especially Jessica Jones. Hopefully a Hellcat miniseries spins out of this because we were promised that and then it fell through. But yeah, that's my idea that's in the works for that,
Nice.
But speaking of our works, Tim, tell the fine ladies and gentlemen out there that are watching right now what we got going on behind the scenes of Code X. Obviously, Sonny's not here to talk about all the things he's doing. I'm not going to guess. So sorry, Sonny. Whatever you're working on, I'm happy for you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed on the YouTube page, some thumbnails have been added. That's because this guy is hard at work behind the scenes creating those things. And they look awesome. They look amazing. And hopefully they will entice you to click on them and check them out and enjoy them. The review thumbnails are my favorite. Breaking the Code thumbnails, I love. The Codex podcast thumbnail, I am thoroughly excited about too. So that's really
cool. I took that picture from that over there.
Yeah. So the Codex Station YouTube page is getting just a little bit of a facelift. So now there's all kinds of cool thumbnails and you don't have to see Jamie look like this and me like
that.
This
was the worst thing ever. I noticed that more and more. I was like, how depressed can one person look every thumbnail? And I was always laughing in every episode. I'm always cheery. And it would always just catch me like
Jamie's had enough.
Or like, or my favorite. Like, I just couldn't couldn't get past every single one of those thumbnails anymore. I'm like, I'm tired of looking at me being upset.
Couldn't win for losing. No, Dark Knights of Steel #3 just came out. 4, 5, and 6 are on their way. Right after that is Deceased. That is the script for Decoding Panels is being worked on as we speak. Well, not right now, but before and after this episode, yes. So that is on its way. Breaking the Code is fast and moving along. We're going to have Tone Supa. He's the other co-host on Codex After Dark. He's going to join Jamie and I on Breaking the Code this Friday. So that's something you're going to want to check out. Topics have yet to be determined, but if you watch, you know, they're always good, and it's always a wonderful time.
Sometimes we get top 6s instead of top 5. So if you guys want to go check that out,
5.5s, yes.
That's like a 1.5 shot. It doesn't count.
So yeah, be prepared for that, guys. It's always a great time to sit down and talk comic books and get differing opinions and viewpoints, and especially on our top 5s, where they're subjective, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't like the ones that we choose and you think that other ones should have been in there, by all means, put your top 5 in the comment section. Don't just hit the dislike button and not tell us why. Tell us your list, put it in there, and let us know.
That's part of this community. Let us know why we're wrong. We're right.
Exactly.
So let us know why we're wrong at the same time.
Exactly. Dislikes are dislikes. People aren't going to like things. Likes are likes. People are going to love things. But if you don't tell us why, we'll never know what we can do to change. But beyond that, Codex After Dark, we're going to have polls coming this week. Jamie, do you have polls to show? Because
next week
I will. Okay, then I'll have stuff to show. I'm sure Tone will have stuff to show too. And I'll always,
scrummage around some of my working titles.
There you go. And you know that we will have great conversation for you on a Saturday night too. So if Jamie doesn't have to go to the bathroom 15 times.
I didn't last week. I held it to the end and then ran away. It was gone for like 15 minutes.
If you feel like having an existential crisis, go check out Sonny's mail call that just came out.
I don't know if crisis is the correct word.
Sonny was like having a crisis.
This should be the death of comics. Like if there's death of Justice League, this video is for you. Like if you want to ever have a problem with someone opening a package in their life and potentially ruining a comic, check out that mail.
Oh my god.
But you will laugh in the process. It was a great one. No comics were injured in the making of this mail call. I promise you that.
Oh geez, go check it out, guys. It's a blast to watch. More reviews are on their way from myself, from Tone, from Kristen. She hasn't disappeared. She is in the middle of some COVID right now, but that's going to be over soon.
Okay, COVID. Got it. I had to sound it out.
The beer virus.
The corona.
Yeah, that's right. 2 limes, please. Thank you very much. And 2
sanitizes
ibuprofen. Yeah, exactly. But anyways, more reviews are coming. Jamie, is there anything I missed?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing reviews too, Guy.
Oh yeah, Jamie too. In addition to doing the editing and the directing and the thumbnails
and running the shows,
the motivation and all that other stuff, Jamie is dipping his toes in the reviews as he has done before. What are you going to review?
Well, me and Tone are going to be reviewing Last Ronin from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Both of us have differing opinions on the ending, so you guys stay tuned for that when that comes out. And I'll also be doing Batman Beyond from the New 52, the full run.
Ooh, that's
coming up.
Nice. How many issues is that?
17.
Nice.
I think I'm going to do everything that and honestly, from here on out, anything I have that I've already read, I'm going to do a review on. So even if it's a full series of 52 issues, I'm not going to go on to every single issue, but I'll give an overview and kind of give my grade at the end as of what it should be.
Yeah. So guys, if you've been paying attention, we're kind of branching out, not leaving Boom, but doing Boom Thursdays in addition to reviews
Codex
from
reviews.
Other companies. Exactly. So it's going to be an overall, and there'll still be Boom Thursdays too.
And we're taking reviews for you guys from the channel themselves, from previous podcasts, and taking the reviews so that way you guys can watch a shorter episode, basically of the podcast, but it's just a review. So that way you guys can get you guys' little entice there on the reviews. If that's what you're into, awesome. That's there strictly for you. And we have all of them probably till the end of the year.
Yeah, there you go. So lots of stuff on its way, guys. And once again, We are 9 away on YouTube from the big 100. We want to get there so desperately, and we can't create enough fake accounts to do it. We need your help.
Yeah, they maxed me out.
And we need you to go ahead and subscribe to YouTube. On Twitch, we are trying to get to 50. We're at 31 right now, so we are 19 away. 19 more, you guys. Just hit that follow button. We're on every Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Yes, and sometimes randomly because we got nothing better to do with our lives.
That's right. That's right. And
I mean, I really don't.
And we always got streams of decoding panels coming for you right here on Twitch, and streams of past episodes and things like that. All kinds of different stuff.
I might bring back the gaming on Memorial Day and have a full day of it. We'll see how I feel.
Right on. Okay.
I might have one too many COVID drinks.
Jamie, that's all I can think of for our works, unless there's anything else that you can think of.
Not at the moment, but I can tell you there's another topic we talk about, and that is our topic of the week, guys. Yeah. And again, all the answers in here for the top 3 are brought to you by the comic character of the day. Guys, go check out the Facebook group. Again, great community, great people. You have us in there, chat with us, chat with the admin in there. We got 3 different ones: Dan, Sal, Kevin. All of them are great. Tone's in there as well. So is Sunny, if you guys can catch them. But yeah, definitely check them out. And for our topic of the week this week, we had which sidekick really grew into their own unique character. And for the top 3, in no particular order. With number 1, we have Christopher Rex Psycho. He says Troya.
Okay.
Jeff Fiegel. I'm hoping I'm saying his last name right. Dick Grayson Nightwing. And then this one just surprised me, and I was like, that makes sense. Sorry, Christopher, again, if I pronounce your whole name wrong. Christopher Dahlblom Larson says Ben Reilly.
Right on. Okay.
So guys, as always, thank you for putting out your answers there. If you guys want to be included into the top 3, all you guys got to do is join Comic Character Today. We post them weekly. Throw your name into it when we post, and your name most likely be picked at one point or another. So guys, keep answering.
Absolutely.
So Tim, who do you think is the most unique character to come up from being a sidekick?
So I mean, like I really struggled with this to try and pick some a character or 2 that were a little lesser known, but I couldn't do that. The 2 that just kept coming back to the forefront were Nightwing and Winter Soldier. So I mean, Dick Grayson, Nightwing, the first Robin, he is so far separated from being Robin now that he is his own unique character that has his own fan base and everything. That is the perfect representation on DC's side of a character that was a sidekick that went to become something of his own. And that's perfect. On Marvel's side, Winter Soldier, I mean, Bucky, from what he was in the 40s, and then what Brubaker did with him, bringing him back in that whole epic storyline that turned into one of the greatest Marvel movies ever made. I mean, those are the 2 prime examples from the big 2 that I can think of characters that were once sidekicks that became their own unique personalities.
And great choices. It was hard for me to make a decision on this because mostly my brain goes towards Nightwing. But if I had to pick 2, one from each respective area of the big 2, first one for DC, I go with Jessica Cruz. Because realistically, after everything that happened within New 52 Justice League, when they got their own title for Green Lanterns, it was kind of like a buddy cop with her and Simon Baz, but Hal Jordan willed their rings for them.
Nice.
So technically, it's like a sidekick. They're learning at the same rate as going forward with it. Marvel, I'm going to go with Honey Badger.
Hey, right on. She really came into her own in Dark Ages, even though that's an alternate universe story.
Right. And the biggest aspect for me was just like that portrayal with even like Weapon X or X-23, I should say. Every story that she's in, whether it's just gold to me. So it it's a growing character. I don't know if we're ever going to get like a solo series from that.
for Honey Badger.
Yeah, I would actually enjoy that. I'd read a 6-issue mini on that.
I'd love to read
100%.
that. Her and Deadpool running around.
Yeah, just doing frantic, nonchalant things.
Yeah. Just doing silliness. Right on, man. Those are good picks. Those are awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, no, going into stuff we kind of know, but we want to find out if Tim, do you know?
Do I know? Probably not. Do you
Me
know?
neither.
Maybe.
Nah. And as always, guys, before we start, do you know if you are in the chat right now? Please do not post the answers. We can both see them. Wait till the end to tell us how wrong we were or how much we don't know with the comic book world. Usually that's the case. So you can badger us later.
Right. What's the order today? Is it me or you?
You start this one off.
Okay. All right. So my theme today is crossovers. And
oh man, I lost.
Has to do with this wonderful guy behind me.
Mm-hmm.
So with crossovers, let's go ahead and go back to the beginning, shall we?
Oh no.
Jamie, do you know what the first official crossover with Marvel and DC was with characters?
With characters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
First official.
And Spider-Man, Superman.
That is exactly right. I was just going to say, it doesn't matter the order of the name.
Yeah,
as long as
it was Spider-Man and Superman.
Yeah, the official name of the title is Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man, and that came out in 1976. But Jamie, yes, you got yourself a point.
And that came in that also comes out in an oversized comic too, as well.
Yeah,
like one of those ones where you feel like a 5-year-old holding the book.
Yeah, reading a golden book for the first time.
Right.
Well, all right, Jamie, you're starting off pretty good.
Yeah, so far we're gonna see how the rest of this goes.
Yeah.
But mine kind of pertain to the two characters that form that character behind Tim right now.
Ooh.
And also one that is a crossover aspect too.
Okay.
So first question, true or false? Do you know if Mark Spector has a child?
I'm gonna say false.
You are correct. And it was a trick question because of the fact that in the Bemis run, come to find out Mark does have a child, but it's Jake Lockley's child with Marlene, not his own.
Wow. So okay, so technically the body of Mark Spector has a kid, but
body
Mark
of three.
Right. Mark Spector himself does not. That's wonderful. That's cool. Okay, question number 2, sir. So sticking with Marvel and DC, we know that since Superman and the Amazing Spider-Man, there have been many crossovers with their respective characters since then. But do you know what single character is owned by both Marvel and DC? It's the only character ever created, and they own it.
Well, Captain Marvel would be the name because they both owned it at a point.
There's one character specifically that is owned by Marvel
Hercules.
and DC. Hercules? No. The answer is Axel Asher, or Access, and he first appeared in the company crossover Marvel vs. DC or DC versus Marvel.
I call it shenanigans. I think Hercules in both.
Oh, Axis is the only character that is respectively owned by either one. The name Hercules, the name Zeus, you can't own that. You can own the likeness of the character you create.
You can own whatever you want as long as you put money in it.
But DC has their own Zeus. Marvel has their own Zeus. But the only character that is owned specifically by the two is Axis.
Okay. We'll go with that.
Okay.
I beg to differ.
We don't have a judge to rule.
Yeah, no, Sonny's not here to tell us we're both wrong and he not know either. So my next question. We all know who Peter Parker is. We know Uncle Ben as the father figure. But Tim, do you know what is Peter Parker's parents' names?
Richard is his father and Mary is his mother.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
You might win one this week.
I had to think about that for a second. I was like, what are they?
I knew these are going to be the first two were going to be a little easy. I think the third one's a giveaway, so I think you might have this week.
That would be nice. I haven't had a do you know in quite a while. So,
well, I feel bad. I figure I throw you a couple bones.
Well, I don't feel bad enough for you to throw you a bone.
I
So
know.
Here's question number 3.
Jamie does all the work and has no play.
You have 1 point so far, so there is a chance that you could tie.
Okay.
Now, moving away from Marvel and DC, but staying with company crossovers, we know that other companies, independent companies, have crossed over together, and we know independent companies have crossed over with the big two. But do you know what company crossover did Gen 13 make their debut?
Oh my God. Valiant.
What is the name of the crossover?
Valiant and Image.
Those are the companies, but I'm looking for the name of the crossover.
Hang on. Generation Now.
Is that your answer?
I bleeding. Yes, it is.
It is incorrect. The companies are correct, but the name of the crossover is Deathmate. And the specific issue that they debuted in was Deathmate Black.
Gotcha. Okay, so yeah, 1 point for Jamie.
Yeah,
Tim automatically wins, but we're still gonna give him this last question because I still don't like him.
I will take it.
We know because you won either way. So we all know Stan Lee's prolific long life with Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know what is the name of the series that Stan Lee wrote for DC Comics?
Oh, it's give me a second.
It's over.
No.
Thank
no,
you.
No. Stan Lee Imagines. That's what I'm going to call. That's what I'm going to say.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's your final answer?
Yeah.
Okay. False.
Yeah.
It's you were right with the Imagine part, but it's Stan Lee's Just Imagine.
It was close.
So was I with Valiant and Image.
Well, all right, man. That's 2 points for me, 1 point for you. I will relish.
Sonny's gonna call,
next week.
Be like, "Oh, next week I gotta win because someone let Tim win." And be like, "Yeah, well, I had no choice."
I am writing on my notepad in big letters, Tim wins.
Yeah, the one notepad he's going to keep at the end of the year to make sure that we know. Yeah.
This is so I can keep track until the end of the year and be like, okay, so the full winner of Do You Know is Sonny.
And we'll get no. We're going based on points.
Based on points, not wins?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
Points,
all right, man.
That's what we said at the beginning.
That is Do You Know in the bag.
Yeah. All right. Well, with Do You Know out of the way, do you know what's next?
Yes, the wonderful review for Infinity Warps.
Yes, and as always, Tim is going to kick it off with the credits.
So we are going to do Infinity Warps Arachknight issues 1 and 2, and the credits for that are as follows. Written by Dennis Hopeless, artwork by Ali Garza, inks by Victor Alazaba, colors by Ruth Redmond, and letters go to VC's Joe Caramagna. So the best way to describe this, and I didn't read Infinity Wars, so I was kind of tossed into the middle of this, and that's exactly what it is. Mm-hmm. You're tossed into the middle of this world that has been created, I think, because Gamora with the Infinity Stones, right? Yes,
Gamora is primarily issue 3, I believe it was 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Let me know in the comments down below or in chat if you guys can. But yeah, it started with Gamora, and all of the big primetime players were basically standing around her, and basically Moon Knight standing next to Spider-Man. He's like, should I be worried about this? And she's got the stone, and he's like, just stay next to me, we'll be fine. And Infinity Warp kicked off after she uses the stones, and it's almost an amalgamation of the characters from was it Soldier Supreme to Iron Hammer to Arachknight. I believe it's Scarlet. What was it? Not Scarlet Witch. I forgot. It was the X-23 and Scarlet Witch crossover.
Yeah. But the story kind of throws you into the middle, and you come to this guy here, and I can't remember what amalgamation of the names they used. Was it Mark Parker or Peter Spector or something like that, or was it?
It was something along those lines,
something like that. But the point is all the powers of Spider-Man with Moon Knight's abilities too, and even the personalities, and they all have their own unique personalities. But the thing is over the course of the 2 issues, you follow Arachknight as he goes through his day-to-days, and his best friend Harry, and his dad, like this version, I'm just going to call him Peter, which I believe is
it's still
name.
Peter Parker.
Yeah, but he runs a company, and Harry works with him, but Harry knows that he is the Arachknight, and each one of the personalities has their own motivation, but it all stems from the night that he became the Arachknight, when his aunt and uncle were killed, and he was bitten by this green goblin monster thing. And over the
almost
course
like
of
a werewolf.
Yeah, and over the course of these 2 issues, it's about an adult Peter Parker who still has to deal with the crisis that took place for him to become who he is, the multiple personalities and all of that stuff. And it is just an amazing adventure from first page to last page. And I was so mad when at the end of the 2nd issue, it's like it's getting ready to gear up for a 3rd, and it's like, nope, that's it. What? But no, it was great. It was great. The things that you loved about Peter Parker, and the things that you loved about Mark Spector, and even Norman and Harry Osborn and their respective villains, the Green Goblin and things like that, and Werewolf by Night, all that stuff, it's all thrown in together, and it was all written very, very well by Dennis Hopeless. And the artwork that was done by Ali Garza complemented it very, very well. And I got to give a big shout out to colors, Ruth Redmond, because her work on that really made the book pop. And even though you're kind of thrown right into the middle of this world and you only have 2 issues, in those 2 issues, Dennis, the writer, does a very wonderful job of giving you an origin, a present day, motivation, and even a pseudo ending, kind of. But I mean, it all plays out like a typical Marvel comic book would play out, and it leaves you at this cliffhanger at the end, and you just want more. And I know there's one more book that has him in it, but I don't think it continues that particular story. So with that being said, I had a lot of fun reading this. As soon as you recommended it, I had never heard of it before, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And I loved it. I read it in one day. I thoroughly enjoyed this. It covered a lot of ground, like I said, in 2 issues. It didn't make you feel left out. It made you feel very much in the know, because as soon as you got started, you went through the motions, went through the paces, and it was very easy to follow, and it wasn't confusing at all. So with all that being said, the writing, I give a solid 10 out of 10 because of that aspect, because of how well he did throughout the 2 issues. Top notch, 10 out of 10. And the artwork gets a 9 out of 10 for me, not because there was anything to nitpick at, but it's just like those, well, maybe it's like those little inconsistencies that just can't bring it up to a 10. So overall, 9.5 out of 10. This was super fun. I'm glad you recommended it, and I would in turn recommend it to anybody that wants to read something that you don't have to be super invested in, but can get a lot of enjoyment out of.
That's a higher score than I thought you were going to give it, honestly. I figured it'd be high, but I didn't think 9.5 was going to be your realm.
I loved it. I love the book too. I, like you alluded to earlier, the aspect of how well the colors and the art just blend together, it made the book for me. And that's one thing I'm not going to forget, is seeing the Arachknight for the first time and just being like, that's a character I want to get into more. The suit it works, man. It works.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing for me, was like, I want more of this. I'm invested into this now.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, it didn't pan out the way we expected. I was hoping for like a solo series, something else world title after the fact. Obviously, we didn't get that. But yeah, just having both elements of Peter Parker and Mark Spector. At the time, Peter Parker had his own business in his solo book. So we kind of trickled that in. We had the Mark Spector split personality disorder, or the DID. That worked in. We also had both their origins kind of coming into one with the Werewolf by Night, the Bite, all that. And to me, it was just overall, it's just a fun-filled book. I think all of them are, but this one was the top for me. Like I said, I can't rave about these two issues enough as far as what you're getting yourself into. I think you said it perfectly, where it's like you can jump into this and just be like, perfect. You know,
you don't have to know anything.
It'll reference the Infinity War in there as well. It has a little editor's note saying, hey, check out, Infinity War issue, whatever issue I said earlier, insert here, for more information. But just being a solo 2 issues, it works perfectly by itself. So my grade, I give the writing a 9. I give the art a 9, but I'm giving it 8.9 overall. The only reason I'm saying that is because of the fact that this should have been a ongoing series.
I
want to give it a 9 so bad. I want to give it a perfect 9, but at this rate, like,
I really
8.9's where I'm at.
I really struggled with cutting the writing down because of that, but I don't think it was his fault though, because
it's not.
You get 2 issues, and
Marvel, if you're listening right now, Arachknight needs to come back out and make an appearance in at least a 12-issue maxi series.
Spider-Verse. Was he in that?
No, bring him in.
That was a wasted opportunity.
Yes.
Just saying.
Marvel, add us. Give us some creative control here. We can help.
Absolutely. That's
DC,
awesome.
I'm still waiting for a phone call, by the way. No.
So, Jamie, I give it a 9.5. You give it an 8.9.
Yeah.
Those are great grades, though. Those are great scores.
And I just, it's not that, like, I'm not being petty about it that we didn't get a series out of it, but the way it left you, you wanted more.
Yeah.
As a consumer, as a fan, as everything else, that's how I felt the entire time. I still feel that way. I try to find anything Arachknight. It's very hard and expensive to find.
I haven't seen it anywhere.
You have a Pop Funko, but it's out of this world expensive, and I want it.
I saw that, like, when I was looking for pictures for my background. I was like, oh, cool, they got a Funko. I didn't even look at the price, and now I'm afraid to.
Yeah. But no, I got, like I said, so it's not like really a petty score. It's more of a, as me being a reader, I felt like I was left out. I was left away from that experience that we could have had.
You got to look through the window and they're like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, no one needs to see this anymore. It was perfect where it was. Now you just screwed it up for everybody.
Well, all right, Jamie, 9.5 from me, 8.9 from you. That wraps up reviews. What do we got coming next week when Sonny comes back?
When Sonny comes back, we have volume 1 of Hawkeye, and it's a 4-issue mini of his very first limited series. I had these guys pick between that and Absolute Carnage, and they picked that, which is fine either way, because then I'll just give them Absolute Carnage the next time, because
there you go.
That's how I do things. But guys, I think we're going to be wrapping it up. It's a little bit of a shorter episode today. We didn't have a lot of news. Obviously, Sonny's not here to take the spotlight and not let us speak on topics like last week. If you guys catch that episode, please do. It is up right now. PDF participation trophies. Go check it out.
Absolutely.
But guys, I just want to say, thank you all for who showed up. Thank you all for still watching, and always be kind to one another. You never know what anyone else is going through out there, and even making someone smile can change the whole perspective of their day. So always be kind. Guys, hit that follow button, subscribe, like this video. Guys, we are trying to build this community for you, and we can't do that without you. So it's up to you to make it bigger. And as we keep progressing, you guys are, and I love every single one of you for it. So as always, I will see you guys in the next one.
Right on, Jamie. And don't forget, guys, you can find us on all the socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, right here on Twitch, over on YouTube, on TikTok, and on our Discord. All you got to do is type in the Codex Station, and that is where you will find us. We are also on all podcasting streaming platforms. Once again, that's right. Once again, type in the Codex Station, and there we are. Once again, guys, my name is Tim. This wonderful guy over here is Jamie. We are missing the immortal Sonny Kruger. This is the Codex Podcast. We are the Codex Station, and we will see you next time.